G'day everyone, this is Daniel O'Grady and thank you so much for joining me for another WasabiCars video. Hope you're doing well, and this is going to be a super special video because this car is the answer to the question, Daniel, what is your dream car? If you could have one car, what is that car? And this is the car. HQ Holdens were my first automotive love, and you may recall a couple of years back I did see that HQ Statesman in Kagoshima, and I drove through the night to see that car, and it was like seeing Elvis or the Beatles, or I don't even like them actually, but it was like seeing something legendary. You know, I think I've talked up the Statesman a bit too much, but today's car is a legendary car. This car was Bob Jane's race car that he raced back in 1972. Here's a picture from then. He did race it a bit at his track at Calder Park until 1977, and then he sold it, sadly not to me. Here's a pic from 77, and here's a picture from 78. You know, I honestly thought he was giving me the thumbs up, but there was a kid standing next to me. So good on you, John Bow, and good on you, that kid. Let me just take a second to talk about this event. It was the Lakeside Classic back in August 12th, August 13th, and it was a spectacular weekend. I had a great day. The weather was fantastic, but just cop a load of that car. It is absolutely the most beautiful automobile I've ever seen in my life. I love this car. Now wait a second, didn't I just show you two photos of this very car looking a whole lot different? Yes, it has had a lot of changes over the years, and a few years ago, I don't know the date, but it had undergone an 8-year restoration to try to get it back to the 1972 spec car. Now, an 8-year resto by a team of people with real resources, that must have been a hell of an undertaking. And let me just tell you who that crew is. It is Wall Racing, and you know, racing cars is what they do, but they've got a couple of amazingly restored cars, legendary cars in their stable, including this ex-Ian Gagan Mustang. Now apparently that very Mustang won the Australian Touring Car Championship back in 1967. Let me just do my maths, that's 50 years ago. So a massive thank you to the Wall team, whoever you are, I don't know you, for bringing the cars out. Now let's have a look under the bonnet. It is an absolute work of art, and there it is, a 350 cubic inch Chevrolet V8 engine. I'm loving the finned valve covers, very, very nice. And it has got trumpets, yep, 8 ram intakes. Apparently you got to squirt a bit of petrol down there to start the car because the engine driven injector pumps don't pump without, you know, the engine. And the gearbox hanging off that engine is a 4-speed rock crusher. And then out the back we've got a torque biasing differential with Salisbury 12-bolt axles, and the brakes are period correct 4-pot calipers up front and drums on the rear. Now I saw an interview at the track with John Bow. Now John Bow is an absolute legend. He was the guy racing the car that day. Anyway, the interview with John Bow, he was saying this car was a pain in the butt to drive around that track. Not the fault of the car, and not really the fault of the track either. He loves this track, but just the car and the track, the camber and whatnot, it was a real difficult thing to do. And just a quick little chat about John Bow. He used to race with Dick Johnson, who was an absolute legend, and I guess he was like the arch enemy because I was Peterborough Holden camp. But yeah, Dick Johnson, John Bow were driving the Ford Sierras, which used to drive me nuts. But yeah, always exciting racing back in the day, and some good memories. Now let's get all up in this and check out the back of the car. I don't know who I was channeling then, but yeah, the rear guards have been pumped, of course. Now the wheels 15 inch by 10 inches wide. The wheels are modified mini lights, but I'm just loving the rear quarter of the HQ. It's a favorite of mine. The quarter glass, the C-pillar, the big ass rear glass, the boot, the taillights are in the bumper, wide ass wheels. It is fantastic. damn, I just don't know what else to say, people, but I am so pumped. I've never been more pumped for any other car except for the last HQ video I did, which was the Statesman, which I said earlier. HQ. I love the HQ, always will. I think I said the same thing in that video. Crazy. I'm crazy. Question of the day. What legendary race car do you wish you had seen or you did see? Let me know, driver, I guess. Driver and race car. What is the legendary race car you saw or wanted to see? Leave that in the comments below. And everyone, thank you so much for joining me. Yeah, that's the thing I say at the beginning. Take it easy, goodbye.
With a little bit of rust and a little bit of turn on WasabiCars in the neighborhood, Wasabi.